expression, music.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the 10th episode of the Mental Threads podcast. Yeah, I know it's been a minute actually stretching this far. I know I got to keep consistent and everything in regards to that. Today we're going to be focused on the subject matter in regards to mindfulness. Like, what does it mean to be mindful? Okay. Now, I know throughout this whole situation regarding COVID and even classes, starting back in the fall semester all over again, even I got like 6 classes, everything can be very, very stressful as a young adult trying to transition into being financially stable and capable. Now, this is just me, just saying like, hey, just step back, relax, take it all in stride, and really just learn to pace yourself, like even with me, like I struggle with this also, always trying to like, trying to like force things to happen, force like, just procrastinate at the same time, but also worry about the future in a different sense also. And it's just like, there's just times where you just need to just chill the hell out and just like, just keep things in stride, as I said earlier. Now, when considering the definition of mindfulness, now, okay, let's just, yes, mindfulness. Now, the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. Like, again, to put it in the sentence of their mindfulness of the wider cinematic tradition, or a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. You know, and it's just wow. It's actually used over time. It's just one of those words. I think either it's newer or it's just something that's just used more now. Um, Regardless, there are about 3 components of mindfulness. I'm gonna go over them right now. In general, they seek to develop like these 3 characteristics of mindfulness: intention to cultivate awareness and return to it again and again. Attention to what is occurring in the present moment, simply observing thoughts, feelings, sensations as they arise. Attitude that is non-judgmental, curious, and kind. You know, all of these reconcile with the 3 characteristics of mindfulness. You know, a good example of mindfulness is just you know focusing attention on your food that you're eating, or it's like you might be having like some good ass spaghetti or some shit like that. I don't know, lasagna. I really want to eat right now. But it's like, yeah, just focusing on things like that, and just focusing on like the texture of the food. It's just like, oh, how good this damn food is, shit like that. I could actually go for some shit right now. After this, I'm about to go to the caf, maybe the Starbucks. I don't know. I definitely can't go to Chick-fil-A. It's fucking Sunday. But yeah, there's just mindfulness is a way to just really to just come and center with yourself. Really fall in sync with yourself and like really try to practice inner peace and stuff of that nature. Now, there's all sorts of shit outside that may just like kind of stress you out. I know sometimes I kind of stress myself out. I have a bad habit of looking into the past, focusing on what could have been, things I could have done to avoid certain situations, and then try to think like, oh, like when are things gonna go different? When are things gonna like, start lighting up? And it's like it's kind of is. Like I'm at a position now, as we can on the podcast, honor roll student type stuff. After years of people even saying like, "Oh, he's dumb, he's stupid, he's this or whatever," or treating you like you're just whatever. Here I am. I come to this damn campus, And I was actually originally more focused on, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like party and fucking like blow some bitches backs out. But most of my experience here has been really focused on just really just building myself as an individual. Although I've been kind of straggling lately in terms of finding an internship. And I already started DMV promotions, but things, nothing wrong with DMV promotions. It was a wonderful job, great, great, great job. I recommend it to anybody that wants to learn how to learn direct sales and basically like the whole concept and psychological um parts are really just making direct sales to people in person, connecting with others. All these can really, really be helpful, really building your brand and stuff of that nature, and even being consistent and reaching your goals. That's one of the things I took away from DMV promotions as a whole, but it's just like, back to things on the matter. It's like, yeah, all these things outside, relationships, like losing friends and everything, moving forward. It's just it really just speaks to like it really just touches upon like a lot of us in life, where it's just like we all are just really trying to make it through this life as best we can. I know like in a past episode I also talk about like meditation. Meditation is really, really helpful in terms of helping with mindfulness. But it could just be day to day things, and just go out for a walk, exercise, do something, knock out some goals for the day. I know I got some goals for sure that I'm trying to set up. I need to really set up like a workout plan for that following week. Like maybe I go work out like 3 times a week. I'm thinking about like just like focusing on my core one day, focusing on upper body strength one day, and then like focusing on like leg day. I think I'm gonna save leg day for Fridays so I can give them the damn weekends to myself. I'm really trying to make the goal where I can at least like maybe 100 push-ups in the morning and maybe 100 push-ups before I go to bed. I could stack 200 push-ups daily and just kind of see how that kind of works out with it. And see where I'm at like by the end of the year. I really want to build my upper body strength as best I can. Definitely want to go back to taking more boxing classes and everything. I just gotta be able to really reinvest in myself in regards to that. Also, gotta learn to defend yourself out in these streets. But it's like, but just things like that. I feel like what I really could do is I could really call family members more. That's one of the things I really, really need to work on. Is like really keeping in contact with my family without having to like go on Facebook and post something and then like they just respond by leaving hearts and stuff. Um, and just stuff of that nature. Uh, it's just one of those things where it's just like connection can also help with mindfulness. Also, really getting in touch with your family, your friends, associates, trying to network. That's also pretty good. I'm gonna see. I need to really set up a schedule too. Schedules are really gonna be helpful for me because I feel like sometimes I do just kind of sit down, like maybe lollygag on my peers a whole lot, or just fucking just lay in bed on social media a little bit too much, and I feel like that's not really helping me. Like this semester, I'm really focused on really just reinvesting in myself. How am I going to be? How am I going to invest into myself to be the better version of myself? I thought by this time I'd be the better version of myself, and I kind of am in one sense, like academically, but there's also other areas in my life I really want to really refocus on. One thing for sure, I want to be like a whole lot more social. I want to be able to put myself out there, network with people a whole lot more. I want to be like more healthier, stronger, faster. Um, I know it's like I want to be a little bit more outspoken. Uh, you know, really, really fall in sync with the best version of myself, the most relaxed version, like maybe my best, more wittier, more, stuff of that nature. And it's all in me, but it's like, it always feels like there's just some mental barriers that it's just like, I feel like I need to hop over before I really reach that. And, I feel like, with mindfulness, it's just one of those things where it's really just you versus like, not like your mind in a sense, but really just refocusing your thoughts and reaffirming your thoughts differently. Yes, it's good to acknowledge yourself as like, okay, I'm not feeling it today. Like, I'm just sad today. Really ask yourself why are you sad? Why are you anxious? Why are you fearful? What really is weighing you down? Was it something that you did? Was it something that you said? Was it something somebody else said to you or did to you? Is it something that somebody else may have spoken about you? At the time, you just got to keep in mind that it's just whatever happened in the past is in the past, and it doesn't necessarily reflect who you are as an individual. It really doesn't. What's in your past is not who you are. You're not your past. You can be like a drugged out, fucking, I don't know, like coked out fiend one day and then run a whole business the next day. Or be a minister, or be like, someone that would help others. You can be like just some gangbanger, some hood rat, and then the next day you could just be like working in a hospital, maybe just working in the medical field, doing something, being a motivational speaker, and helping others. It's just like, take this from a kid that literally grew up in a broken home, literally witnessing domestic violence and stuff of that nature, just police coming to your house as a child and everything, seeing your parents throw things, all that. It was very erratic as a child for me to even process a lot of this shit. And even at the same time, it was just normal to me, like it was just, I just thought everybody else's home was kind of like that. And it's just like, it's just one of those things where it's just, at the same token, statistically speaking, this is come from the same kid, broken home. Like you see what divorce can do to even like your father and everything. Like they freaking lost his doctor license over some stuff I can't really delve too deep into and everything. It's just like you get punked out in your own home by some random nigga, and he wins leniency over that because he's freaking like what? Because he has a relationship with your mom. It's like, it's crazy, man. And I had to deal with all of that. On top of that, I had to freaking get harassed at school and everything, or middle school, going up for some years with people who I had no relationship with whatsoever. It was just so surreal with me on how to deal with these situations, because I was like, how do you dislike somebody you have nothing to do with? How do you just hate on somebody, or you're so like dedicated to try to slander somebody or go against somebody and you barely even know them? And like, that's was just a lot of the stuff I had to deal with. I just didn't really understand that. Nothing that somebody else tells me about you is going to really ignite hatred or dislike towards you. Everything that has to do with that has to do with what you do to me personally. What you do to me personally. What you say to me personally. Like, that's just where I stand. If you might have done something or said something to a friend of mine, I may try to get some insight from your side if I haven't really had any beef with you, and just kind of see like what was up with that. Like, hey, explain your piece, say your piece. Like, what happened? What's going on? What's the deal with that? What's up with that? Explain. I don't like demand an explanation, but it's like, if you could explain yourself on the side of the story, we can be able to like, just mend things together as best as possible. It's always good to seek peace and clarity no matter what. Don't try to like, toss more gasoline to the fire of a situation. If you don't understand something, you need to ask questions. Don't assume things. Don't go behind people's back. Don't be doing all sorts of stuff trying to like gang stalk them and everything. And it's just like, it's just one of those things that can really, really twist someone's head up. Like, damn, like, what is going on? Like, what is the deal? Like, what did I do? What did this person do? And things like that can really make somebody super anxious. You start thinking about who talks to who hangs out with who does this with who, what's the connection with who. And it's not even that deep, And it's just like, everybody has their own life to live. It's just, if they want to waste it talking shit, then whatever. That's just life. At age 23, you just got to keep it pushing, and feel like that's one of the weird things that I'm at weird stages I'm at. It's just like, grad school, Where am I gonna go? What's life after college gonna be like? How am I going to live and everything? And it's like it's not really so much stressful because you already have an idea on what to do and where you're gonna go, but it's just how everything is gonna transition. Like how is life going to be really? You know? And it's just that's what it comes back to mindfulness as a whole. Like sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath, just breathe out. Take a deep breath again. I was doing this like a couple hours ago, just under the covers. I was just meditating and everything, and it's just like, and it feels so good, like to really just breathe in, breathe out, and everything. Align yourself, affirm to yourself, I am enough. I am enough. I have more than what I need. Anything else that I need or want in life, whatever is meant for me, will come my way when it's at its best time. It's just like, it's just things like that. You really have to remind yourself that no matter what, the best things will come to you in stride over a period of time and patience, no matter what, you know. And it's just one of those things you can't necessarily knock it at all. It's coming from the most one of the most, like, I be hella anxious, hella depressed, hella just sometimes to just be stuck in your own head. And it's just like, I got to get myself out. Just be mindful. Just be mindful that things just happen, and there's things that are just out of your hands. Some things, you have no control over, and whatever you can control it. Whatever you can't, just let it go. I can't control. You can't control the people's opinions. You can't control the storm. You can't control the weather. You can't control none of that. You gotta just be mindful that what I can control are my thoughts, so where I'd redirect my energies to, and who I'd redirect my energies to. It just doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. And it's just one of those things I have to tell myself over and over again. None of this shit matters. Like, you can't just let people live rent free in your head. Some people are just dedicated to bring other people down. Some people are dedicated to want to uplift others and show them the way. And at the same token, you really just can't, you just don't have to give a fuck. You don't have to give a fuck at all. Just stop giving a fuck. You can give a fuck about people that care about you. Give a fuck about the people that have the best intentions for you. But stop giving space in your head to folk that really don't matter ultimately. You know? Like, I feel like I sweat things way too much sometimes. And that's just me. And that's just for anybody that may be sweating something so much. Like maybe like a friend fall out with you. Or they might make up a rumor about you or say all sorts of shit about you. Or, you probably love somebody so much and then they just betrayed you. Or, just like a loved one, a wife, a girlfriend, things like that. And, you got to feel what you got to feel, anger, frustration. Why would this person do this to me? Why would it, it's just things of that nature. But it just teaches you on who to trust, who to keep close, who to love, who to reinvest in. People, it doesn't matter how long you know somebody or what they said to you or how much they kissed your ass when it don't matter. It all comes down to intentions. People intentions towards you. How, like, what are their inner plans towards you? Are they gonna help you? Are they gonna be there for you? Do they really, really love you? Do they really, really fuck with you? Or are they just gonna shit on you? Like, what is it? What is it? What do they want? What do they want? That's all you gotta ask yourself. What the hell do these niggas want? What are they trying to take from me? What do they want? And you just gotta just learn to just say fuck it. Fuck all that. Fuck what people think about you. Fuck all this. Fuck all that. That's mindfulness. Excuse all the explicit language, but it's just true stuff, You can't just sit around and just waste your life just so focused on trying to meet the expectations of others, people who didn't even meet your expectations, you know? And you got to stop having expectations. Some people are just human and they just fuck up all the time. And, no one's in your head. Nobody knows what you think. Nobody knows what everybody's think. We're all just kind of like stuck in our own lane. Double standards can be a big thing. Somebody can do this and they don't get penalized for anything. You do something similar or not even at that same stride, and then they criticize you and hold you to such a weird degree. Like, who are you exactly to speak on me in this way? Like, who are you exactly? And it's just one of those things that we all have to just keep in mind, you know. But back on the subject of mindfulness again, uh you see the difference between mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is the awareness of something, while meditation is the awareness of nothing. There are many forms of meditation. Some are aimed at developing a clear and focused mind, known as clear mind meditation. Mindfulness meditation, a form of clear mind meditation. So it's just stuff like that. So it's like meditation is more just focus on nothing, while mindfulness is just focus on something. You know, really just like don't worry about it, basically, or just focus so much that it takes your mind off your worries. You know, like be mindful of all the blessings that you have. Be mindful of things you got to be grateful for. You know, there are people whose loved ones, family members have passed away and they had to bury them. You know, and the only way they can speak to them is they pray or they just go to the grave. You know, like their lives have ended, and so it just kind of goes on like that. You know, whereas for you know for other people, they probably might not have lost a whole lot of people, and they might have not have lost anyone, and maybe their life is just going however it's going. But it's just one of those things, man. It's got to keep in mind there's always somebody that wish that they're in your position right now. You know, there's always worser. You know, you could be in prison, you could be stuck with all sorts of nonsense, you could be deep, deep, deep in debt, and there's just no way you can probably reach up to the surface again. You know, things like of that nature can really, really cripple somebody to not even want to try no more. You know, but you gotta be mindful that we're all living a human experience. Everything is temporary. Everything in life is temporary. That's one thing. You're gonna meet some temporary ass people. You're gonna you're gonna be stuck in some situations that might like, damn, this might feel like forever, and it's not forever. It's temporary. Whether if it's months or years or some weeks, who knows? Whatever you're going through, you might even look back at it in the future like and start laughing like, damn, I really was this worried. I really used to sweat over this so much. I really used to give a shit about this at all times. And it's like, it's not even something to sweat. Ain't nothing to sweat. Ain't nothing to sweat at all. And it's just stuff of that nature. Um, But anyway, mindfulness is just being aware. It's noticing and paying attention to thoughts, feelings, behavior, and everything else. Mindfulness can be practiced at any time, wherever we are, whoever we're with, and whatever we are doing, by showing up and being fully engaged in the here and the now. Yes, it's good to be present with yourself. You got to be engaged with yourself in the here and the now. Um, Stop focusing so much on the past. Stop focusing so much in the future. I know it's like I'm talking to y'all, but I'm really kind of talking to myself too, in a sense. Like even I be sweating shit. It just means that being free of both past and future, and the what ifs and what maybes, and free of judgment of right and or wrong, the I'm the best or I'm no good scenarios. So that we can be totally present without distraction. It's just all a matter of focus. Mindfulness is the awareness that arises when we are non-judgmentally pay attention in the present moment. It cultivates access to core aspects of our own minds and bodies that our very sanity depends on. This was stated by John Kabat-Zinn from the Unexpected Power of Mindfulness. Mindfulness, which includes tenderness and kindness towards ourselves, restores dimensions of our being. These have never actually been missing, just that we have been missing them. We have been absorbed elsewhere. When your mind clarifies and opens, your heart also clarifies and opens. Mindfulness also releases happy chemicals in the brain. It lowers blood pressure, improves digestion, and relaxes tension around pain. It is simple to practice and wonderful in effect. Not a bad deal when all that is needed is to pay attention, which sounds like something we should all be doing, but often forget. When we do pay attention, then change becomes possible. Einstein said himself that we can't solve our problems from the level of thinking that we are at when we created them. Yeah, and saying from Marianne Williamson, a different level of thinking doesn't mean just a different emphasis in our thinking or a more loving kind of thinking. It means that he said a different level of thinking. And to me, that is what meditation is. Meditation changes us as it returns us to our right mind. Mindfulness and meditation are mirror-like reflections of each other. Mindfulness supports and enriches meditation, while meditation nurtures and expands mindfulness. Where mindfulness can be applied to any situation throughout the day, meditation is usually practiced for a specific amount of time. Mindfulness is the awareness of something, while meditation is also the awareness of nothing, as I stated earlier. There are many forms of meditation. Some are aimed at developing clear and focused mind, known as clear mind meditations. Others are developing altruistic states such as loving, kindness, compassion, or forgiveness, known as open heart meditation. Others use the body as a means to develop awareness, such as yoga or walking. Others use sound as enchanting or anointing sacred words. You know, I could never still my mind. And then, as I was approaching my 17th birthday, or no, not 7, my 70th birthday, I thought the time has come. Part of getting older is that as the externals begin to fray, so you are beckoned inward. As my mind became quieter in meditation, I discovered this place that seemed to be suspended behind my forehead like a chandelier hanging from the top of my skull. It was a place of complete stillness, says Jane Fonda, from The Unexpected Power of Mindfulness and Meditation. So yeah, even Jane Fonda got some words on it. But it's like, yeah, just all these just coincide, the sense of just having an open mind, an open heart, and really just the stillness of the spirit, healing spirit, it all reconciles with just being mindful. And it's one of the main things I have to really practice, even myself, and a lot of people in our generation have to practice themselves. That's just all it takes, all it is. So it's like for anybody that's really looking into understanding what mindfulness is, how it can apply to them, it's always good to look, Google it, like what can I do to be more mindful, what can I do to really build on myself. All these can connect together. So yes, definitely. And that goes forward for the 10th episode. Like, hold on a second. 10th episode of the Mental Threads podcast. Just always have to be mindful. Calm your thoughts. Aspects of inner peace, self-healing, patience. All of these should be practiced with diligence, should be understood. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let it go.